बच्चों का सहारा शिव बाबा है प्यारा, बच्चों का सहारा शिव बाबा है प्यारा, ज्योति बिंदु न्यारा शिव बाबा है प्यारा, ज्योति बिंदु न्यारा शिव बाबा है प्यारा। चंदा से पार जाए उनसे मिलन मनाए, चंदा से पार जाए उनसे मिलन मनाए, गुणों के खजाने बाबा से हम पाए, गुणों के खजाने बाबा से हम पाए, संगम हो जाए हमारा शिव बाबा है प्यारा, बच्चों का सहारा अंबर सुख बरसाए, आनंद खूब लुटाए, अंबर सुख बरसाए, आनंद खूब लुटाए, याद के झूलों में झूले बाबा ही हो जाए, याद के झूलों में झूले बाबा ही हो जाए, चमके आत्म सितारा शिव बाबा है प्यारा, बच्चों का सहारा मणिया झिलमिलाती जिस घर के हम वासी, मणिया झिलमिलाती जिस घर के हम वासी, चमचम वहाँ जो चमके सबके संग शिव साथी, चमचम वहाँ जो चमके सबके संग शिव साथी, वहाँ अनोखा नजारा शिव बाबा है प्यारा, बच्चों का सहारा ज्योति बिंदु न्यारा Oh
Oh,
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. So we have Sister Venu here with us from Los Angeles. She's originally from Malaysia, and very early in her uh, life, she got connected to Baba as early at the age of 6. And then, after completing her education, she decided to surrender to the service of Almighty. And she's here with us to share her experience on a beautiful topic of Divine Father as your friend. Over to you, sister.
Om Shanti. It's nice to see the family. I just got to know this family through Harshabai. I think you all know Harshabai from San Francisco. I was visiting the San Francisco Center, and that's when Harshabai asked about this class. And then we got connected with Raki Ben. And so that's how this session started. So please pardon my voice. I don't usually sound like this. I'm just having a bit of cold and, cough. It's the season right now in US. It's very cold. So in case time to time, if my voice is getting a little cracky, please pardon me. So Rakibin asked me, what's the topic you want to share on? I was very blank at that time. So I asked Papa, what do you want to talk about? And just that one thought came, friendship. So I said, okay, I will share my experiences with Baba being my friend. And there are many instances that without me even realizing that Baba was playing a role of a friend, Baba had fulfilled many areas in my life. Even when I had questions, Baba gave me answers. Baba even showed that, he's there with me, that he's present and his vibrations are present and I'm totally safe. Many, many incidences. And that is why I later realized my whole life, Baba have really played the role of my friend without me even realizing. And to share some of my experiences, coming from Malaysia, as Rakiben shared, I went to the center when I was about 6 years old, and my parents were completely against, not Brahma Kumaris per se, but they were not interested with any spiritual path because they were big time meat eaters. So they were not ready to change their dietary. And I actually went to the center with my auntie, my mother's younger sister, and her family, so my cousins, during school holidays. And she took me and my siblings to the center. And at that age, I didn't understand anything. What they were sharing in the Rajyoga course. It was 7 days, so every day we went for 7 days. And each time, after each lesson, they would turn on the teacher would turn on the red light and would give a commentary. I would see, Brahma Baba's vision on the wall. And, they introduced Brahma Baba much later, towards the end of the course. And I would get these visions from the beginning of the course. And as kid, you see someone in white, you'll think this is a ghost. So I thought who is this ghost? Keep appearing and only appears when during meditation when the light turns red. So I used to be a little nervous when the meditation starts because this ghost would appear. But it was a friendly ghost. It wasn't a scary ghost. And we didn't speak words, but it was more of the action, what the ghost was showing me. And I would understand what the ghost was trying to tell me. And then after that, every day I would see, just for a few seconds, I would see that vision. So then it became less scary day after day. And there was one time the ghost was like inviting me to come and sit on the swing. Brahma Baba was sitting on a swing, and he was just with his hand, he was signaling me to come and sit beside him on the swing. And that's when, I started feeling closer, meaning I wasn't afraid of this person. And then the last day when they introduced Brahma Baba, then I told the teacher in my language, I speak Tamil. In my language, grandfather means tata. So I was trying to tell my teacher, this is the swing tata. And he didn't get a word I was saying. But I was trying to explain, he has been coming and he has been telling me things or showing me things. And he was like, oh, okay, that's very nice. So that was my first encounter with Baba. That friendly encounter with Baba wasn't official. And then after that, growing up, I would go to the center with my auntie. Still, my parents were not interested, but the sisters were very smart. They would give me, every time when I go to the center, they would give me tolis or bog, and they'll say, okay, bring for your parents. So I said, okay. And I would bring for my parents. And one thing my parents had, that bhavna, for prasad, the temple prasad. So they regarded Baba's bowl, tolis as like a temple prasad. So they will have it with respect. But they were not interested to hear what I would want to share. And then slowly, the sisters would tell me, you should be a vegetarian. So I'll go home and I'll tell my mom, I want to be vegetarian. And then my mom will be like so upset. She would say, you're growing up. You're just, 6. Where will you get your protein? Where will you get your nutrients? But I was very stubborn. And so she would try to force and feed me, and I wouldn't eat. And then another time the sisters would tell me, okay, you shouldn't eat onion garlic. You shouldn't eat outside. So whatever they would say, because they were very loving, and for me, mostly going to the center means going to see them. Again, Murli wasn't something I understood. And Baba, okay, that feeling, that bhavna for Baba was there, but also the sisters, very sweet, very loving. And whatever they would tell me, I would listen, and I will go home and I'll tell my parents, this is what I want to do from now onwards. And it will create a big friction at home, because my mother, she said, well, I can't be cooking just separate for you, vegetarian, and then cook meat for others. So anyhow, this conflict was going on and on for more than a year. And my mom, up till now, she'll always tell me, we thought we will brainwash Vino, but in the end, she brainwashed us. So I think I was about 7 plus. Now I remember it was during Navratri, and as kids, me and my cousins and a few other kids, they dressed us as Devis, Navratri Devis. And it was a huge public program, and we were on stage, and we were just young ones, Even the oldest was no more than 12, and the youngest was like 4. And we were there, we were dressed as deities, as the Devis, and we were sitting on stage. And the sister said, okay, now you couldn't, you shouldn't move, none of you should move, you should be like a statue, and you should give drishti. And so we were doing that. And my parents were in the crowd, that was the first time they came to the center. And I think that image touched them, because then after the event, they were willing to take the 7 days course. And at least after that, especially my mother, she didn't stop me. She didn't force me. Okay, you shouldn't do this, or she didn't stop me going to the center. She didn't stop me being vegetarian. She didn't stop me from eating, without onion and garlic. So she was very cooperative in that sense. And of course, for parents, it was a slow progress for them in this spiritual journey. But I could see how in that 1 year, Baba's book made a lot of difference. So I used to always joking, I would say, I am born through bhavana and you are born through bhog. I would tell my parents that. And moving, then going up, being a teenager, getting exposed to the world and social life, fashion. So slowly, diversion happened. I started going less to the center and getting less involved. But Baba was very smart. He really, really, I say, Baba is very smart. He knows how to keep me bounded. He knows how to pull me back. As much as I would go and, being adventurous, Baba was very smart in getting me back. And like service for me, I would never say no to service. And so service then became a reason for me to go to the center more than Morley or meditation. So that kept me going. And then the biggest change in my life happened was when I came to US. My university from Malaysia sent me to US for specialization. I'm a double major. I'm a neuroscience background, and also a biochemist. So that's how I ended up coming to US. But coming to US was a big culture shock for me, really big culture shock for me, because growing up, I was, growing in a spiritual family. After when parents became BKs, then my mother's younger brother and wife, they took Baba's Gyan, and then they became BKs. So, and growing up, basically in a center's environment, and growing up with the sisters and everyone. So I would feel my childhood, I grew up very protected and comfort zone. And then coming to US is a day and night difference for me. The culture, everything was a day and night shock for me. And I have to survive here on my own. And I came to the campus where I was, given a scholarship to do my studies and to do my training. I didn't even know where the center was. And I didn't know how far the center was going to be. I brought the letter, introduction letter, because when you go to another center, you need to bring letter from your center coordinator. So I brought the letter, and I was looking, is there any close by centers? So the center that was closest was Los Angeles. And even then, because I wasn't driving, it was 4 hours one way. I have to take 3 buses, And it took me 4 hours one way to come to the center. And plus, I was working in campus. I was working under a professor and I was studying. And I was juggling with my schedule and then coming to the center. Baba, I think if it wasn't for Baba, I don't know how I would have survived. The weather, the language, it's English, but the accent, the pronunciation, the terms were different. And here I have to do my own laundry, my own finance, cooking, working and studying. So I became more mature, I would say. My biggest change in my personality, in my responsibilities, happened when I came to US. And all along the way, Baba supported me. And also because I maintained my discipline. My classes used to start at 7 a.m., as early as 7 a.m., up until 5 p.m. And then I would work 5:30 p.m. till 9:30. So by the time I reach my campus is at 10. And that is when I would shower, I will cook, I'll offer books. So I always tease Baba, I think I'm the one who is offering you the book the latest. Baba gets book 11 p.m. And so I will eat half for my dinner and then I'll pack the other half for my next day lunch. And that's how my routine went on. And I survived. I survived those periods. And I found the center. So every day, Friday night, I would go to Baba's house. I'll come to the LA center. And Sunday night, I'll return back to my campus. And all my semester breaks, I was here in Baba's house for service. And I would stay here. And at that time, Gita Ben was by herself. So she was so happy that she has another hand to help. And she will be waiting when I would come on Friday. So she would just give me everything. She said, okay, now you handle the students, the classes in the center. I'm going to take a break. And center constantly, there's always activities, classes, students, karma yoga. There's always many things happening simultaneously. So I can totally get it when she's by herself. And she's not even young, she's now in her early 70s. So that happened. But another miracle that happened was I had to, after staying in Baba's home here, when I graduated, Gita Ben said, do you want to come and stay here in Baba's house? And then do you want to move in here? I said, okay, sure. So I moved in, and the wonder is also I got a job in a lab, which was just 20 minutes away by bus. And that was very close. It's in a well-known university. It's called UCLA. And I was doing brain research there for Alzheimer's. So that was easy commute for me. Morning, read Murli, and then change clothes, run to work, and then come back, have dinner in 5 minutes, and then again change clothes and teach. So that went on in juggling. And then after that, in 2010, there was a big economic crisis in US. And so what happened was a lot of the major companies and labs, the government was actually encouraging employers to hire locals than international staffs. So a lot of the companies were not hiring, they were not extending our visa. So then ended up, I had to go back to Malaysia. But on the day before leaving US, I went to Baba's room here in the center, and I looked at Baba and I said, Baba, I don't care when and I don't care how, but I am returning back here. That was the only condition I put to Baba. I don't care when and how, but I'm returning back here. So I just had that one thought, and I went to Malaysia. And then, of course, when I went back, I started working. Just within 2 weeks, I got a job. So I was creating vaccines for tuberculosis for hospitals. And the next year, in 2011, I got a letter from the US Embassy here from US stating that I won a green card in the lottery, which I didn't even remember. It was a free application one time. I applied in 2008 and I didn't get any response. I didn't pay anything. You just have to upload your documents, fill up the forms, and I just uploaded on the US Embassy website. But I didn't get any response, so I completely forgot about the application. And here I'm receiving a response in 2011 saying that I won the green card in the lottery. And that's how I returned back to US. So I was in Malaysia for exactly 1 year. And the day that I was leaving from Malaysia to come to US, my mother, she said, Vino, Baba sent you back to Malaysia for me. I said, why? She said, when you were in US, I was missing you. And I was telling Baba, just one time, let me see her. After that, you can take her with you. After that, I no complaint. But just one time, let me see her. Let me be with her. After that, she is yours. So now I understood. I told her, oh, so because of you, I had to come back. Baba had to send me here, back to Malaysia, exactly 1 year. And then because I had a determined thought that I am returning by any means, so Baba had to send me back to US. And this time I didn't have to worry about visa. I have a green card. So I came back with just, no stress, nothing to worry. With the green card, it's easier to apply for jobs. And I don't have to worry about, how long am I going to stay in US. So that was, a big miracle that happened in my life. And then after that, there's just so many. And now I'm just thinking, what is it that I should be sharing? There's just so many that Baba has helped. And I will just share some recent incidences that has happened. In 2019, we opened another center. It's in another city called Cerritos. And this city is about, I would say, 45 minutes to an hour drive away from LA Center. So there's a couple, they gave their home to us to run as a center. So then Gita Ben sent me there. And since then, I've been there. But I go back and forth, once or twice a week I come to LA Center. But I mainly am based there in the new center. And I'm by myself. And in the beginning period, a lot of the BKs that have been coming, they used to have this concern, Bene akeli rehti hai, you're staying alone. And especially there's this one brother, he's a little elderly soul, and he stays like 2-3 minutes away from Baba's house. And he always checks on me, make sure you make sure the gates are closed and the doors are closed, make sure you stay safe. And I've always told him, Bhaiya, chinta mat karna, don't worry, Baba is here. Say, yeah, I know Baba is here, but you also need to take precautions. And I remember there's one time during January month, it's a tapasya month. So he was coming every day for Amrit Vela to Baba's house. And then there was one time when he came and then he sat with Baba. Then after that he stopped asking me, he stopped checking on me, how am I doing. So then after a few days I asked him that, Bhaiya, nowadays you don't check on me if I'm doing okay or not, what happened. Then he said, oh, Baba gave me the answer. I said, what happened? He said, once, when I was coming to Baba's home, I was getting down from my car and I was walking. And I saw this very faint, subtle light around the house, Baba's house, like a balloon, like a globe, light. So I thought maybe it's the moonlight, but there was no moon. Then I thought maybe it's the house lights from outside, but it wasn't like a physical light. It was a very subtle light around Baba's house. Then I came in, I walked in, I sat in Baba's house. I was doing Mamrit Vela, and I felt Baba was telling me, who is taking care of this house? Who is taking care of her? I am here. You don't have to worry. And Baba was showing me the proof that Baba is taking care. And that is when my concerns finished, because I knew Baba was there. And that was the first experience, when he shared that, I had goosebumps. And I said, okay, so miracles happen. There are a lot of things that's happening around me that I may not see it, but it is happening. It is there. And then there was another time when I went to a grocery store to buy some things. So there was this one brother, it's an African American, and he was staring at me unusually. And people always, they look, they stare. I'm used to that. We are wearing white sari, we're wearing a badge. So I'm used to that stares, and some are friendly stares, and they'll come, they'll talk. But his stare was it was different. I didn't feel good energy. I felt it was very negative energy. So I moved from one aisle to another aisle, and I saw him following me. And that's when I realized, okay, I shouldn't be here longer. So then I just quickly, I had a glance. I looked at him, and he was trying to, move his eyes. And I was thinking, is he trying to signal me something or give me a message? But the energy was very dark. His vibration was very dark from him. It was very negative. So I just paid in, the counter, and I was just hurrying back to the car. And he came from behind, and he was asking me, oh, do you practice something? Then I was like, what do you mean? He said, I was trying to hypnotize you, but there was this light around you that I couldn't penetrate. I saw that there was a light, something around you, and that was not allowing me to hypnotize you. So, do you practice something? And I didn't want to talk, I didn't want to have further conversations with him. So I just said, God is protecting me. And then I just went off. And, after that, when I shared in the class, some people asked, oh, you should have given him, what do you, that we do Rajyoga and we do this practice. I said, it's not necessary, because I wouldn't want to invite such soul to the center. We need to protect our students too. We need to protect Baba's house too, and Baba's vibration. If such a soul is so has such, if a soul has such dark energy, then when they come to Baba's house, not everyone in Baba's house are powerful and strong. So anybody can be influenced. So even inviting what type of soul to Baba's house also is very important, making sure that it doesn't disturb Baba's family. So that's why I said no. I didn't say anything. And anyways, I didn't want to talk too much with that soul. So I moved. And that was another incident, Baba is there with me. And it's like a lot of these miracles that if someone has not told me, I wouldn't have even known that this is how Baba has been helping me. And many incidences like this. That's why I sometimes feel, I said, Baba, you have more patience and more acceptance of me than me being obedient to you. I think there are many times I have not been obedient. My stage has fluctuates here and there, and I don't think I'm always in my best self. But even then, you're so accommodating with me, and you have so much patience, and you haven't given up on me. But you're inspiring me. You're inspiring me in all these different ways, and you are telling me that you are protecting me. And another time, I was kind of very down, and I was telling to Geeta Ben, I don't feel enthusiastic. I feel like my life is going in a very monotonous way, and I was struggling to keep, maintain enthusiasm in my Brahmin life. And then Geeta Ben said, well, Geeta Ben is the main center coordinator here in Los Angeles. And Geeta Ben was saying that, why not go out and go with your friends, Biki friends, go have some fresh air, it will, a change of place sometimes will help, have fun. And here I am thinking, I don't think I have friends. I was thinking, Papa, I don't think I have any BK friends. I mean, we are close and we do things, and the students, they come, they go, but I always keep I would say, a distance, in sense that I don't become too casual with souls. I am friendly, but I don't like that casualty where in the conversation that is, you start losing respect and become very ordinary and very casual. I don't like that type of relationship. I want to have a very respectful and spiritual, yes, humorous but respectful relationship with every soul. And then I said, Papa, it looks like, I don't have any friends. And I was just crying in Baba's room. And it was such a beautiful message that Baba gave. Baba said, your whole life, look back and see who have been with you, who have laughed with you, who have supported you when you cried, who helped you, bringing you all the advice or the support that you need. I have been there. I have been your friend your whole life. That just brought tears to me. I said, Baba, I think I never saw you as a friend. Maybe I've just seen you as a parent, but probably I never realized you had been my friend until you actually told me this. So that is when I felt friendship is such a valuable relationship for me, more than more than any other relationship, because with Baba I can be very casual. With Baba I can be very down to earth, and with Baba I can even make fun of my own self, and I know he's not gonna um think bad about me. And so that's my relationship with Baba. At times humorous, at times serious, at times inspiring, at times where I'm just complaining. And Baba has stayed with me, and Baba has proved and showed me he's there and he's protecting. Even though sometimes I feel I'm forgetting Baba, I always tell Baba, if I forget to hold your hand, please, you make sure you hold my hand. Please don't give up on me. And Baba has kept that up to date. And in 2015, I strongly felt I needed to surrender, that I didn't want to continue working. So I told my parents, because up till then I was financially supporting them. And I asked my mother, is it okay if I surrender? And she started crying. And she said, Vino, I've always wanted you to surrender to Papa. I always wanted you to have a spiritual life. But I didn't want to tell you that because I didn't want to impose my opinions on you. I wanted you to make your own decision. And it so happened that I felt I'm ready to take this step. So I got the blessings of parents. They're very happy that I've given my life to Papa. So my elder brother, he's financially supporting parents. The parents are taken care of. And here I am, here with Papa. And when I decided to surrender, I put two conditions to Papa. And the first condition was I said, Papa, from my childhood, I remember from my childhood, I never ever asked money from anybody. I never asked money from parents, and I never asked money from any soul. I couldn't allow myself to ask. So I said, Papa, I want to keep maintaining this. In my life, I will never ask money from anybody. And make sure you don't bring such situation in my life. You provide me, you know best when I need, what I need, how much I need. So make sure never in my life there should be a time where I need to open my mouth and ask. And second, my second condition to Baba, I said, Baba, I will not go and look for service, but I will work with myself. I will make my stage strong. I will make my spiritual life strong. And let service find me. So these two conditions I laid to Baba when I surrendered. And up till now, Baba is taking care of his part of the deal, and I'm taking care of my part of the deal. And Baba had made sure that everything I need is always provided, even before the thought arises in my mind that I need this. Every little thing, the tiniest thing, Baba provides. And second, service comes on its own, like how this class came on its own. Service come, people come, opportunities come, interfaith opportunities come. And that is because I am working to maintain my deal with Baba, and Baba is making sure we are good partners in this life. We are very good understanding partners in that way. And of course, there's much, much more, but I will pause here. Raki Ben or anyone wants to say something.
One request, sister, before you pause. You had mentioned yesterday that you wanted to share your childhood memories with a song that you had asked us to play. So, would request you to share that memory with us.
Okay. So, in Malaysia, we don't speak Hindi. So I learned my Hindi coming to US. I learned to speak and understand Hindi coming to US. I have zero Hindi knowledge in Malaysia. Nobody, not even my family speaks Hindi, nobody. And when I was about 8, Dadi, I think it was Dadi Prakashmani. She came to visit Malaysia. We had a retreat with her, PK retreat. And for that retreat, for the cultural event, our children's class teacher, she wrote down this lyrics, and bear in mind, even she doesn't know Hindi, so she just wrote the words as per what she heard, and then she trained us to sing this song. And we were a mixed crowd, there was Chinese, there was Muslims, Indians, and Christians, Buddhists. So we were a mixed crowd of children. And so she gave us the lyrics, and we went up on stage, and they played the music. So then we sang the song. And it's funny how, as kids, I think the youngest kid was like 3 years old, and the oldest again was like maybe 12, 13. So we were singing this song. So the song that you heard before this session. That was the song we sang, and it was funny that some of us were singing faster, and some of us were falling behind in the lyrics, and we were like telling, okay, wait, slow down, and we were doing it on stage, and everyone they were laughing. And maybe I think some of the words maybe we didn't pronounce it well, so that the ones who understood Hindi, Dadi was laughing, the crowd was laughing, and they were enjoying. And here we were, as kids, we were so serious. We need to perform well, we need to sing well, we need to tune well. So that image, and then after that, once the song finished, Daddy called us. She was sitting below stage, and she called us. She said, "Come." So she wanted to, give us a Tolian blessing. And I think there was one part, my voice became louder, so I was singing a little faster. So I was very embarrassed. I didn't want to see anybody. I was so embarrassed. So when we were queuing up from the stage down, approaching Daddy, I was sending everyone first, I was saying, no, 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 you go first, because I was so embarrassed to meet Daddy. And then finally, when it came to my turn uh, to meet Daddy, and then Daddy was like, "Bahut acha, bahut acha." She was just, patting the cheeks, and she said, "What acha?" And I was thinking, oh, so maybe it was not a bad performance. And then she put the sweets in my mouth, and everyone was just laughing and cheering. And I guess then I thought, okay, maybe we did well on stage. So that song is so close, and I could still see Dadi Prakashmani's face and her joy, and her fun, her humor, her childishness, and her love. So whenever I hear that song, I remember Dadi. And we used to play crickets with Dadi in Madhuban in Peace Park. Dadi Janki and Dadi Prakashmani, Dadi Janki was the bat, the one who's batting the ball, and Dadi Prakashmani threw the ball. And then we as kids, we were in half, one was Dadi Janki's team, one was Dadi Prakashmani's team, and then Dadi would beat the ball, and then we all had to run. But as kids, we didn't understand what was the rules. When we saw one kid started running around the field, and all of us started running around the field. We didn't know who was supposed to run, who wasn't. And then we all ran around Daddies, we ran, and Daddies were laughing. And then Daddies, they would feed us ice cream. Oh, Baba's ice cream is the best. I grew up with Baba's ice cream. I'm telling you, Madhuban ice cream. And one time, Dadi Prakash Manishi took us from the children's class. She took us straight to the kitchen. And this was during December. And you can imagine how cold it was. That is because when Dadi came and Dadi asked all of us, what do you all want? All of us, we screamed and we said, Dadi, we want ice cream. We were in the International Children's retreat. This is, I'm talking in the 80s. And Dadi was telling, okay. And Dadi told the brother, okay, go and prepare. Then after a few minutes, then Dadi said, okay, let's go. So we all made a line, and we were walking behind Dadi. Dadi took us to the Gansarovar kitchen. And, the katoris that we have, those katoris, Dadi set, and Dadi was filling the katori, and she made like a mountain, a mountain of ice cream inside the katori, and she gave us, and we ate, and then everything was, the phlegm was flowing from our nose, and we were sneezing, but no, we continued having a blast. And Dadi was looking at us, and Dadi was, laughing. She was enjoying to see how much we were enjoying the ice cream. Those beautiful days with daddies, and singing with them, sitting on their lap, and loving them, hugging them, eating with them. Those were just beautiful memories. I felt Baba also wanted me to experience, what it felt to be part of Yagya. Yagya is not just Madhuban. We are Yagya. And so it's not that what is Yagya doing for us? We are Yagya. I felt that was what Baba was trying to say. We are Yagya. What am I doing for my family here? Am I giving that love that Dadis gave me? Am I able to give that feelings that Baba and Dadis have showed me? So all of us are Yagyas. So that was the experience.
That's amazing sharing and experience, sister.
Very nice, sister. I just wanted to ask you one small question. You also come from a field of science, and you've so nicely shared your experiences with Baba. Did you find while you were doing your research that you got some intuition, some insights while doing your research through Baba's grace as a friend?
Like the progress in research, is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
or something that you could experiment with or discover because of Baba's blessing.
Yeah. So, one thing in research is it's all about results, and results are not overnight. And people break their heads, getting the certain results and everything. And I guess when Baba said science will expand, it will flourish, but at the same time, the side effects of science also will flourish. I understood what Baba said because here we are working very hard. I was working, trying to find a possible treatment for Alzheimer's, trying to find vaccines for melanoma, trying to find vaccines for tuberculosis. We are trying very hard. But in the same time, we see that something new is happening in the field of cancer, something new, how these disease or how this infection, how it is progressing, and in different ways, how these viruses are multiplying, and how the strands, variant strands, mutant strands keeps changing, bacteria keeps changing shapes. And it's funny, we think we can control science, or there is so much that we can do. But I think because of Baba's Gyan, I wasn't frustrated. My lab was frustrated. People around me were. But I knew this was going to happen. But even then, I said, okay, let me just do my best as per my qualification and skills and what I need to do. But I know none of this is going to last. And I know something new is going to come up. And this vaccine is not going to work. And a new strand, and a new strand, and a different way of infection. All of this will keep coming, will keep happening. And every year, the vaccination lab have to do double the work, even for this COVID vaccine. We think, okay, now this is going to solve. It's not. The viruses keep changing shapes, and then it's not going to happen. So Baba's Gyan gives a lot of answers that, okay, whatever we are doing as per the need, as per the qualification, as per the job demands we are doing. But other than that, there is so much more that science cannot deal with.
Mm.
Om Shanti, sister. I liked your concept of what you said, Unjil Tata, the way you came in as the swing. I love that word. And I think as children, as when we are young, especially girls, we love the swing. I've seen that in my grandchildren, they love swings. So your concept over there, when you started to say that you got in Malaysia, I've been to both the places and I know Jagabai as well as Geeta Ben very well. So I know what upbringing you have come up. Now this concept of Unjil Tata, I think there was a kind of, yes, friend, I should say, but I found from your experience there was more of protection, something about throwing a canopy over you, somebody telling that you're very precious to them. So I found you had more of a father look. You didn't know what you looked in Baba, but I think you approached him as somebody who's giving, supporting, taking care, like throwing a blanket over you when you're cold and all that. So that's the parent look, or that's the father look, or what we look in God. See, when we come to see, especially as Tamilians, when we come down, we look for God as a higher thing, something higher, something big. So even I felt that. But in the end, the way you spoke to Baba, your deals with Baba, your conversations with Baba, it brought out where Baba saying, okay, now I think you don't need a father anymore. Now I think you need a friend. Okay, fine, I shall be. And I like that word, what he said, a perfect business partner. Yes, yes. You cannot, dear, you cannot have a better business partner than him because he knows that. It was very nice listening to the topic from, even though you never gave us directly the topic, your whole experience was an epitome of how you looked at him as a father and enjoyed your journey as a friend. And nice to see both these relationships, because relationship is something which keeps you glued to what you want. And I think that has really brought you where you are. Both father and friend is a beautiful concept. Thank you, sister.
I think it's time for you all to go to center, right?
But sister, it was very, very nice listening to you and very emotional and very touching. In fact, while you were speaking, your experiences, I'm sure our family here of the English of Yakmurli was experiencing the same emotion and vibration. So thank you so much for coming here and enlightening us with your grace. And Rakiben, can we do a short meditation?
Yes.
Sister, can you please lead us? And we would be really blessed with this. Om Shanti.
Just a moment. So let me sit comfortably, keeping this body relaxed. If I'm holding anything physically, put it aside and just keep this body relaxed. Just for a few moments, bring your attention to the center of your forehead. And visualize Baba standing in front of you. Looking at Baba's eyes and Baba's smile. Seems as if Baba is telling, I've been waiting for you. And you are here now. And as you approach Baba, Baba opens both his arms wide. And Baba is lovingly telling you, come, child, come to me. And you go to Baba and you give Baba a hug. And you feel that Baba has been waiting for you to show you love and to make you feel protected. And as you look up to Baba, Baba is asking, how are you? As if Baba wants to know, how am I doing? Is everything okay in my life? Is there anything that I need? And Baba takes my hand and we both walk in a garden. And Baba is asking one question. Child, when you see this garden, what do you see? What does it remind you? And I look around in the garden. There's so many flowers. Some flowers will bloom. Some flowers were still a bud. There's cool breeze. And there is a swing. Baba, still holding my hand, walked me to the swing. And we both sat on the swing. And again Baba asked, what do you see in this garden? And then Baba said, I see you in this garden. Every flowers here reminds me of you. The flowers that are bloomed and big and bright reminds me of the virtues that you have realized you have. And you are making full use of those virtues. And the flowers that are still a bud, that hasn't opened yet, tells me that you haven't realized you have these virtues yet. One day you will. One day you will see that you have these virtues and you will use them. And I will guide you. I will always hold your hand and I will always guide you. Even if sometimes you are not holding my hand, but I will always hold you, keep you safe, keep you loved. To me, you are this perfect garden. You are all these flowers. And I want you to remember this. You are always a flower, whether you are blooming or you are yet to bloom. And now when you are ready, you can come back to your present time. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, sister, for the very nice meditation. We are the flowers. Thank you for reminding us through Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. And we'll continue with the Avyak Murli tomorrow morning. Thank you, sister.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.